My goodness, what a day for it. It's a Monday morning here in East London and I am off for a half marathon. It's T-minus 13 days till race day, till my 10k, and I am very, very excited. Today is my, I guess, last big training run. We'll be doing a half marathon just under my target 10k race pace, so I'm going to be running about 3:45 to 3:50 per kilometre while I'm warming up. Thought now would be a good time to talk about one of my favourite practices, and that is mindfulness. And I use mindfulness in my life the same way as I started using it 2 years ago when I found out about mindfulness, and that is as a way of relieving stress, but also reminding myself to not take things for granted. So this all started a couple of years ago, I guess just at the start of lockdown, and I really just found myself in a bit of a slump. Found myself out of work as many of us did, and I found myself quite anxious. And there was a book in particular which I'll put in the description of this video called The Power of Now by Tolle, which really just, I guess, opened up doors for me. And the power of now, among many other things, encourages one to be present, encourages one to be aware and accepting of the moment and the situation they're in, but just to be a lot more observational of the world around them. And in turn, practicing this regularly will help to relieve one's stress in both their body and mind. So I took up this practice and I haven't really looked back. So I came across mindfulness, and mindfulness in short is taking your attention, your full attention, within your body, so to your breath, or into a sensation within your body, or into something around you, maybe the taste of the chocolate that's in your mouth, or the sound of the song that's playing. But just to take all of your attention there, just for a moment. Now, this can seem overwhelming at first, and for some people they might not be able to fully concentrate for more than a second or two, but just regularly taking up this practice, just putting all of your attention into one thing, will in time reduce anxiety and stress. Now I can say for myself this has absolutely been the case. I like to take up mindfulness meditation whenever I can throughout the day, and I try to make it a daily practice. So for example, when I drink my coffee in the morning, I like to drink my coffee with no distractions, so no laptop in front of me, with a running video playing, or without any music playing. I just sit with my cup of coffee and I just enjoy the flavours, enjoy the smell, I enjoy the warmth of the cup in my hand, and I just take that 5 minutes just to myself. Now, why do I do this? I do this because, quite frankly, despite not having a whole lot going on in my life, I still feel quite busy and still feel quite overwhelmed by my building to-do list, which this morning on a Monday, I've got to go and get some food for the week. I've got to do some laundry. I need to finish buying presents for my girlfriend's birthday. I need to reply to a few emails. I need to text my dad back. I need to stretch, and I really need to start thinking about how I'm going to prepare for this race. The last 10 days of preparation. Now, you know, this is all on my to-do list, and it's all things I need to do. But this morning, I've decided to take myself out and run this half marathon. And I've decided to do that, you know, like I'm not ignoring my to-do list. I'm aware of what's on the list and I will do those things. But I've just said for myself, I'm just gonna take 2 hours to have a nice warm up, get down to the track, run the half. I'm gonna run back. And during that time, I'm not gonna let my mind stress or worry about any of those things on my to-do list. So I'm being mindful about my running at the moment. I'm being mindful not to slip as I run along the canal, but I'm recording this video and I can enjoy that process. I don't feel bogged down with any anxieties or worries about what might happen later today or what might have happened yesterday at work, or what might happen tomorrow. I'm really just trying to practice just living in the present, just enjoying what I'm doing. I'm a real believer that by just embracing where you are, even if it's not an entirely comfortable situation, as I'll find myself in the next half an hour when I'm running, but at least if I'm aware, at least if I'm in that moment, I'm better off than if I was in my head projecting into the future or reminiscing what happened yesterday or this time last year, because believe me, my past self would have absolutely done that. I was a big worrier and I was very anxious about things that happened in the past. You know, those thoughts that take you back to school and you remember something really embarrassing you did when you called your teacher mum, for example. I did this more times than I'd like to remember, but I did it, and you know, I would have thought about these things. It's ridiculous. Let it go. But mindfulness in a running term, you know, I take my attention to my breath. I really try to ignore my legs because the legs are usually the things that hurt the most. But I take my attention to my breath and I slow it down. And on race day, I would take a few strides holding my breath, and I'll take 2 breaths in through my nose and I'll blow out hard through my mouth. So that's, and I'll be doing this at race pace. So I'll be doing this at almost 100% effort. And what this does is it allows me just to slow down my breathing, just to reset everything. And I'll be pushing through, I'll be pushing to match my required speed on that day, which will be 3:35 per kilometre for the 10k. And just focusing on the breathing just calms everything down. Any anxieties or fears in my head or any pain in my legs, I can just be ignored for a minute. Not ignored, that's the wrong word. Accepted. Just to acknowledge it, just to understand and appreciate that the worries, the anxieties and the pain is all there. It's not going away. But in this moment, I'm just choosing to focus on the breath. We're here at the racetrack. This is Mile End Stadium in the East End of London. So I'm going to be doing 50 laps this morning. I'm going to start off with a couple of drills, a couple of warm-up laps, and then I'm going to get the half marathon in. So that's the warm-up and the drills done. I've got my gel in hand. I'm gonna get the gel in maybe 10 to 11k in, just to push me through for that last 10k. And yeah, I'm feeling good for it. I just did some quick hills behind me as part of my drills, and just some quick knees up. I like to just do 4 or 5 minutes of drills, just 3 or 4 exercises. Last bit of stretching to do before we get going, just some dynamic stretches. Just want to get the shoulders a little bit looser. So I'll just do some swing side to side and then I'll be good to go. It's very windy, but I've got the track to myself and it's a beautifully sunny morning, so feeling very good for it today. Let's get going.
One eternity later.
That is the half marathon done, and now I'm laying in the fast lane because I'm still the only one out on track. But my goodness, that was good. I think there was only one split that was over 350 pace, and that was a 354. That was, I think, kilometre 19, but all the others were under 350. I averaged 345 pace per kilometre, so I'm really happy with that. That brought me in half marathon at 119, which is a PB, but admittedly I've never really tried that hard, so I still think I can go quicker. Today was just a training run, but yeah, that felt fantastic. 345 pace just felt really good. That was a really successful morning of training. I had to head back to mine now. I'm gonna get some stretching in and maybe have a dip in the pool later, but I'm really happy with that. That's 300k for the month. It's a new PB for me in the half marathon, 119. So really chuffed for that. I've got my race in, as I say, 13 days for the 10k. So My current PB for the 10k is a 37 minutes, but I've just done that in the half marathon. I've just done, the first 10k was actually 37 minutes, so I'm pretty confident that I'll be able to beat my PB in the 10k in a couple of weeks, which is amazing. I only ran that like maybe 5 months ago. I ran that PB and that was really hard, so the progress I've made in 5 months, I'm just so pleased. And you know, I will say that it's massively in part of my diet of being strictly vegan, and I just eat a lot healthier. Also my sobriety has helped massively, not drinking or smoking cigarettes, but ultimately I think it's mindset. I've honestly used mindfulness meditation throughout my day for all of this time. You know, I always try to just give myself 5 minutes of calm whenever I can, whenever I'm on the bus or whenever I'm out walking. I just focus on one thing, and I think it's really helped me massively. Just then when I was running, I was focusing on pumping my arms. I was just looking at the road ahead of me, looking at the track ahead of me, sorry, and you know, really just enjoying it. It comes through practice and it comes through training, but you know, I believe that we are capable of more. You know, and really in turn, I think we deserve a better life for ourselves. So thanks for watching the video. I'm going to get out of the fast lane before someone comes and kicks me out. See you in the next one. Peace, guys. I can't lie, every lap, I did 50 laps then. Every lap, at least twice a lap, I thought I can probably stop now.